let's play some S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Hello, everyone, and welcome to S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Call of Pripyat. And I am super excited to try this out. This has been a long time coming, with so many of you suggesting it and me promising it for the better part of this year. Now, the reason I want to get into this so badly is because S.T.A.L.K.E.R. is a franchise that is famous for what I feel like is all the things that I've defined my content on. It's got this oppressive yet strangely beautiful atmosphere that juxtaposes the old decay with the new growth. And whether that's a good or a bad thing is very much open to interpretation of the viewer. It's also got plenty of subtle horror, as well as a good amount of overt horror, survival elements, and, best of all, the exploration of abandoned places. Now, I'm going to have a lot to say about the way things are going to be going forward and what my expectations are going in, but I'll save that for when we've gotten started, because we are going to be doing a lot of walking. And you know what? I feel like this game might make it worthwhile to leave a lot of that in. So, let's start a new game. Now, here's the thing. I have heard that it's actually better to do higher difficulties, which on its face I'm pretty scared of, but I think your weapons also do more damage and the enemies are less bullet spongy at higher levels. Now, I will preface this by saying that I have played this before, up to a certain point, but I never got very far, and I never did very much side questing, so I'm familiar with the basics, but I'm rusty and I know very little overall. I'm gonna go with S.T.A.L.K.E.R. just because I'm scared choosing something higher, and I know that this is a difficult game. As you can see, I do also have several mods installed. I installed those before I ever launched the game, so I don't know what it looks like without them, but I know for a fact that I installed, at the very least, Absolute Nature and Atmosphere, so we'll have a slightly better looking game as far as the environments go, and we'll have crazier weather.
At 0123 on April 26, 1986, the reactor of Power Block 4 of Chernobyl NPP is destroyed following a series of thermal explosions. The resulting radioactive cloud moves across the European part of the USSR, Eastern Europe, and Scandinavia, eventually reaching America. The consequences of the disaster are so serious that the government is forced to begin evacuating the residents of nearby towns and villages. A 30-kilometer exclusion zone is created to stop residents from returning to the contaminated area. Despite the disaster, the Chernobyl NPP continues to operate. The existence of a power station, as well as the fact that the area is no longer inhabited, leads the Council of Ministers of the USSR to set up a network of secret laboratories in the exclusion zone. June 11, 2006. The exclusion zone lights up with a flash of blinding light as clouds can be seen evaporating in the sky. After a moment of complete silence, a peal of thunder shakes the ground. Most of the government forces guarding the perimeter are killed instantly. 2008. Scientists are still unable to explain what happened. Rare expeditions into the zone usually end in tragedy, with survivors telling stories of mutated animals with incredible abilities roaming the area. According to various estimates, by 2010, the zone is home to between 1 and 300 unknown individuals. They call themselves stalkers and make their living by collecting anomalous formations known as artifacts, which they sell for considerable sums of money. 2011. Despite military cordons, the stalker phenomenon is growing in numbers. However, stalkers travel primarily around the zone's edges, with the center remaining terra incognita. The few attempts to penetrate deeper into the zone have all ended in failure. 2012, a stalker called S.T.A.L.K.E.R solves the secret of the Brain Scorcher, a man-made emitter that had blocked the way to the center of the zone for years. After the Brain Scorcher is disabled, all stalkers rush for the center of the zone, some in hopes of finding a treasure trove of artifacts, others in search of the Wish Granter. The government decides to launch a large-scale military operation. Operation Fairway, as it came to be known, involves using maps of anomaly fields to maneuver helicopters to the CNPP. Despite meticulous preparation, the operation is a failure, and none of the helicopters return from the mission. Major S.T.A.L.K.E.R, a USS special agent, is sent into the zone to investigate the disappearance of the helicopters. Disguised as a stalker, equipped with a regular assault rifle, 2 weeks' worth of supplies, and a radio to communicate with HQ, the Major begins his journey towards the center of the zone.
Well, that's quite an abrupt transition from cutscene into gameplay. But here we are, and we'll pick up our rusted AK and begin our journey to see what lies within the zone. Now, I believe the events that were just described, we're actually talking about the events of the first game. I'm starting with Call of Pripyat because that's the one I own, because I figured that would be the most developed as the third in the series, but I'm sure others can chime in with why that's not or is a good idea. And let's just take this in for a moment. The dense fog, the branches of the trees swaying in the breeze, with that eerie music and the birds chirping and the frogs croaking. This is so much of what S.T.A.L.K.E.R is about. It's the point A to point B, and I haven't decided yet how much of the point A to point B I'm going to leave in, but I think for this first part, I'm going to leave all of it. Because so much of this game is immersing yourself in the world. I have a couple of GP5 gas masks sitting on a shelf behind me. I'm almost tempted, if you could understand me, I'd be wearing them right now. That's how much I want to get into this. Now, can I lower my weapon? I feel like that would be a little more immersive. I think there is a way to do it, but I can't remember how. In the meantime, I'm not really sure where I'm going, so I guess I'll just follow the arrow on my compass. Staying on the road for now. Now, one thing that I really do like about the story of this is how they specify that it's a second disaster from ongoing experiments that were conducted in the zone that caused things to be the way we know them now. Because it's a little, I mean, granted, it's still not exactly scientific. Why is my thing going off? I believe that indicator on the right of my HUD indicates how many living entities are within a certain radius of me. So we'll want to keep an eye out. Oh, that's a person. Hello? You're a red dot on the map, so I don't imagine you're good. Let's try sneak... Why are you moving like that? Okay, something is clearly medically wrong with these guys. Don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around. I wonder if crouching in the grass actually improves my stealth? I assume that green bar on the top right has something to do with stealth, but I don't know how to read that just yet. So for the time being, I'm going to avoid you guys, and I'm going to go around this complex. Because I'm really not sure of my combat abilities at this time. Like I said, I played a couple of years ago, and the only thing I really remember about the combat is that the enemies are kind of bullet spongy unless you go for headshots, and the weapons aren't especially accurate. Now, they did get better later on. I remember I was annoyed with the combat at first, and I started to enjoy it more as we went on, so I'm going to have to remember to try and be patient here, with the understanding that it does get better later. Hello? 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 Guy? headshots, go for headshots! Ugh. Are they gonna hear that? Can I search you guys? No, it doesn't look like it. And not that it really makes much sense. What are you? Oh, these look like mutated pigs. But yeah, of course, the Pripyat exclusion zone... I feel like it really has captured a lot of people's imaginations from multiple different perspectives. For one thing, it's an abandoned area, an entire abandoned city, in fact, that everyone just had to up and leave. And so it's one of those places that, due to the danger, it's a huge abandoned area that isn't really vandalized, it's all natural decay. And the added factor of that radiation kind of leaves people in wonder of how that might affect the local flora and fauna. Now, of course, the answer is most of it just dies, but, you know, not all of it, and sometimes we do see some weird things. Of course, not to this extent, but the game justifies that by explaining that there's actually something else entirely going on here. And I guess it's going to be up to us to get to the bottom of at least some of it. Okay, it's approaching these campfires that having my gun out really feels wrong, so one second, I'm going to see if there's a way to lower. Okay, I just have to hold down the number key for the weapon I have assigned. Howdy, folks. Can I talk to you? Hey, I want to ask you something. What's new in the zone? Have you heard about the Oasis, brother? They say there's this place that's extremely hard to find, and once you know where it is, even harder to get to. There's supposed to be a lake there. You walk into it, and all your maladies fade away, and your wounds heal instantly. Talking's no use. Have you seen how many rookie stalkers have come here to the center of the zone? Some are looking for a treasure trove of artifacts, and some are just curious. But most are hoping to find the Oasis. Word is, it's hidden somewhere around here.
Молодец!
Interesting. But I'll be honest, for a world like this, it sounds almost too good to be true. I'll keep it in mind, but it's not our immediate objective. We need to find a concentration of people. Where's the nearest stalker camp around here? I'll upload coordinates to your PDA. Skatovsk is the only major camp around here. Oh no, no. Dogs! I'll save you! I won't save you. Come on. Come on, move. Ow, I'm on fire! I'm already on fire. Huh. So this is a dynamic and interesting world. Oh, I'm bleeding and I'm so low on health. Do I have anything on me? I do have some health kits and some bandages, which I believe will stop the bleeding at the very least. Oh, look, we've already taken some damage to our armor. I'm really needing to get into this as quickly as possible because there's so much that I don't remember. Everyone else ran off. It feels wrong, but I guess this guy's not using his stuff. How do I... Okay, double-click to transfer stuff. But sometimes it moves it in inventory. Maybe it's because I'm failing to double-click. Alright, and I'm low on health, so I should also probably use a health kit, right? What do these things do? Bread restores health. Probably not as much as these health kits. Anti-radiation drugs, of course, reduce radiation poisoning. Stalker energy drinks give me recovery, which I assume is stamina. Alright, so this is all good. What good does eating food do? How much health does that give me? A decent amount. And it looks like the effect takes time. It's a duration effect. I feel like these games must be some of the earliest to have these dynamic worlds, and possibly some of the best executed. It's an idea that's been copied several times of an open world where all kinds of things are just roaming and these kind of emergent events can take place. And I feel like games like Fallout and Far Cry have started to do that, but I don't know if any of them have really had a breathing world to the extent that this does. Hello. There's one of the helicopters down there. And who are you? You're the guy that ran off from the camp. Yeah, thanks for the help! We probably could have saved your guy. Man, I still feel bad about that. I wasn't going for headshots on those dogs because, you know, their heads were currently wrapped around that guy's legs. Let's see, how do we take a look at our PDA with P? And it's inverted scrolling, which is a little bit awkward. Investigate the Stingray 5 crash site. But the wibbliness of that water indicates that something really weird is going on here. Actually, wait. That doesn't look good, that green effect as I get close, but look. It's like the water almost defies gravity to, like, wrap around the tops of those little islands. And I think I hear growling. I hear growling, but there's nothing on my indicator. Let's see if we can find a safe way to this crash site. There's got to be some way to navigate this. See, what I really like about S.T.A.L.K.E.R is how it doesn't necessarily create a hostile world. I mean, it's certainly a hostile world, but it's not that everything is trying to kill you. When everything's trying to kill you, and I gave the same praise to Darkwood, it makes it seem like a video game. It makes it seem like a video game premise. But here, sure, there's plenty that's trying to kill you. The indicator says that this is radioactive. But there's also things that just are. Things that kind of beckon your curiosity and your will to investigate. Sure, some of those things can bite you if you behave the wrong way. But still, it's a game that invites you to be curious. It's a game that invites you to explore and to experiment and to learn the rules of this world. And that's why I think this is going to be a very good successor series to Darkwood. Hello? Do you see that on the right side? There's like a fire in the distance when I turn my head. I don't want to step into the water. The last thing I need right now is to irradiate myself. Now, I've been talking a lot in the beginning, but I think some of these times I'm going to be mostly silent as I walk between areas, because I do feel that the atmosphere is a big part of this, and I really want to let you guys soak in that. Ow. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Okay, radiation. Got it. Maybe I should just run in. I did lose a decent amount of health there. I can kind of protect myself by drinking some of that S.T.A.L.K.E.R drink, right? No, that's just energy recovery. This is the only thing that's giving me rad resistance right now. Or maybe not even rad resistance. It might just be reducing the amount of rads that I built up. Do I just run for it? I don't remember if there's a sprint feature. Oh yes, it's X. Okay, this game very much a product of the late 2000s, and it feels like it. But I think it's kind of charming in that way. Look at all that. Okay, run, just run, just run, just run, just run, just run, just run. Okay, that was worth it. Damaged my helmet, though.
All the electronics inside burned out. Even the power cable sheaths melted.
You know, maybe it's a good thing that I haven't really played through the previous games. I played a little bit of the first one, but really only minutes, even less than I played of this. And so, you know, if I'm in the role of someone that's coming here to investigate, you know, maybe it is a good thing that I don't have that external knowledge as a player. Now I see what looks like a bunker entrance over there, and a drain entrance right here, so before we hit the road, let's see what's in there. Yeah, this is a game that I'm going to be playing fairly slowly, you guys, because I am going to learn the ropes as I go. I am going to be asking you guys for advice for how to make things go more smoothly, but of course I never want to know what's around the corner. Okay, do I have a light of some kind? Let me check my controls. Okay, flashlight and mouse 5. Convenient. I love it when things are automatically bound to the side buttons on my mouse. You know, I've been gaming my entire life, just got a gaming mouse like a couple years ago, and I can't imagine life without these side buttons now. And DPI settings. Huh. This leads to a building. Maybe we'll check that out when we come back out. Now, if I remember correctly, there are certain weather events that are actually harmful to us and require us to get indoors and wait it out. So maybe places like this will be useful for stuff like that. Stash of medical supplies. Excellent. Let's check our inventory. Yep, we got some health packs, which we're going to need plenty of. Antibiotics, an experimental drug developed by Professor Ozerski for scientific research teams working in the zone. And it allows you to survive an emission. Okay, so maybe if we get caught outdoors, that'll be something that's useful to us. I'm honestly torn on whether or not to disable the music. I guess I'll leave it up to you guys. I mean, it's so hauntingly beautiful, but I also enjoy the nature sounds, and maybe it's better to juxtapose that serenity with the images that we're actually seeing, with what we're actually going through. Building here. But wait, there is a day-night cycle, isn't there? So before we go skulking about unknown locations willy-nilly, we should probably find the location of that place, right? So we have a couple of objective markers on the map, some of it really far away. Let's see what these things are first. Let's figure out where we're going. That's another crash site. And that's another crash site. What was that? Nice idle animation. So, okay, so I guess we're gonna head south then and visit that crash site. Actually, wait, where did it mark? I really shouldn't leave without... That must be it. That's it. So what to do first? They're both more or less equidistant. I think I'll head south first. What is this thing? Okay, I don't know what that is. Let's head out. Also, I apologize if it's not performing too well. I did record a little bit of test footage and it seemed to be performing okay, but if it's not, I'll change some things around for the next episode. Unfortunately, those little hitches as we go between areas, I'm experiencing that too, so after this, I'll make a note to self to move this game to my SSD. I can't tell if it's getting darker or if there's a storm coming. Hello, what is this? That doesn't look natural. There is definitely a storm a-brewing. Oh, look at that. Those towers silhouetted against the sky. The fog causing things to fall off into haze in the distance. Look at that sky!
Attention, stalkers! An emission is approaching. I repeat, an emission is approaching. Seek cover immediately.
Okay, now, is that building right there, is that enough, or... Nope. I don't know if that building is going to be enough. I'm just going to sprint on back to where I was. That doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. Come on, blow out, find shelter. Where was that drain entrance? There. Get in. I don't have much sprint left. Let's go. Oh, it's a good thing I thought to explore this. Oh, look at those flashes out there. Now I wonder...
Attention, stalkers. An emission will start any minute now. Find cover if you want to live.
I wonder, is it safe for me to go out there and watch, like, at the edge? Probably not, right? This is so intense. Whoa. Oh, I so want to watch this. The quakes have slowed down. Does that mean it's almost over?
Stalkers, the emission is finally over. I hope you're all in one piece.
I am, partly thanks to you. Look at that. What a different world I've emerged out onto. Now, I have limited experience with the lore of this series, but if I'm understanding correctly, and hopefully I can ask someone once I reach the settlement, I believe emissions are these sporadic bursts of energy that emit from the Chernobyl plant itself. Am I correct in that? Hopefully I'll be able to ask someone, but wow. This is one of those things that makes me realize, gives me confidence that these developers really understand how to immerse a player. Because that wasn't just this one and done, like, take cover, in and out thing. That was a whole experience with rushing for someplace to take shelter and then actually sitting in there wondering if it would be enough for a pretty long time. And you know, so many games I feel like are afraid to do that. They're afraid to have players do things that aren't combat, that aren't advancing the story. But this game takes a bit of a different philosophy that I'm glad to see has at least to some extent, rubbed off on the industry as a whole. By recognizing that things land better, things feel more real when they behave more real. When it functions as an ecosystem, when it functions as something where you have to survive and be an individual. This is such a difficult thing to articulate, but in my opinion, you appreciate things more, not when they're more over the top, not when there's more of a wow factor, but when you just are more involved, when you just understand more of what goes into it. I guess a good example would be, you know, like you can have like a million explosions going off and buildings getting destroyed everywhere, but you'll quickly be desensitized to it. If you're the one that had to set the bomb and you know what the target is and you had to research it beforehand and get everything just right, that one smaller explosion will feel all the more gratifying. I mean, it's kind of a lame and super specific example, but I feel like you could take that idea and apply it to so many things. Whoa! Okay, I guess I can't walk and chew gum, because I didn't even notice. We've got poltergeist activity up in here. Please, break. Oh, you're not even breaking. Break so you can no longer be used against me! Okay, so there's clearly some kind of anomaly surrounding this place. I think it's going to be the same plan as before. I just gotta run through and investigate the crash site. Preferably taking cover within it. Can I get hit in this cutscene?
Looks like the crew died in midair and the helicopter simply crashed because there was nobody there to fly it. The onboard computer was a little luckier.
What is that?
I wonder if there's anything useful here. Ah, there's something. A map of the area with certain locations marked.
Yes.
That should come in handy.
Yes. In the beginning of any RPG-like game, the first thing I always look for is some sense of direction. I'm getting a little irradiated. Wait. Wait, no. I want to check these bodies. It doesn't pause. No, I'm accidentally putting all my stuff in his inventory. Sorry, I really got to get used to this. And I'll take your gun, too. It's probably better than mine, right? Nope, give me all your stuff. Alright, out. I'm dying. Bandage, health. Oh, that was careless of me. That was careless. I got too confident. I should have backed out, regrouped, and probably gone for each of those bodies separately. But I at least got some ammo out of it. Now what else do I need? I could really stand to de-ratify myself a little bit. What do these do? Antidote. That gives me chemical protection. Now the question is, what does that radioactive contamination do to me? Because I seem to be doing okay in terms of health, but I might still be receiving health effects from what I just took. It might still be actively healing me. I don't really feel confident enough to go explore those buildings. I think my first order of business now should be to find that settlement that was marked on my map. We also just learned about some new locations. Do I go for this one right away? I don't think so. I think I'm pushing my luck. Skadovsk. That's where we're going next. Yeah, there's something over there. In that old gas station, there's something crawling. Ominous crows, you're not making me feel good about my chances, but I feel like I do need to scavenge some supplies. Might as well on my way there, right? Now, I wonder if places will be marked on my map as I encounter them. There it is. Ah, it's one of those guys that I've seen in so many screenshots. Oh, two. Oh, they're taking shelter in the building. I don't know if it's wise for me to go in there now. Hey, we gonna play nice or what? I'm guessing no. Alright, that wasn't so bad. But you did absorb a lot of headshots, so I'm gonna top off. Ow! I hear another one, I think. Yep, there you are. You have to go for those headshots, clearly. And I'm bleeding again. I'm gonna be going through bandages like candy, I think. But we can't loot you. Let's try and determine what your nature is. Because I know some things were mutated by the experiments that were conducted here, but you seem different. This seems almost like an experiment that was deliberately conducted on someone. Your spine is all exposed. I imagine that gas mask is probably fused with your body, right? Guess it didn't do you any good, and there's more of them still. Alright guys, this is what S.T.A.L.K.E.R's all about. And might I just say, I love the way the lighting is working here. This is actually some of the closest to realistic-looking flashlight I've seen in a game. The way those hazy shadows peek around the corners. I can see, but it's not like vomiting bloom back into my face. And it's such a realistic emptiness. Not a whole ton left behind, but enough to... this is radioactive. I feel like this is some of the most realistic urbex in a game. Where, yeah, if everybody's scavenging this area and there's only so many buildings around, of course it's not going to be full of stuff. Which is something a lot of media involving urbex gets wrong. But some places, more dangerous places, might still have things. That looks like a car at the bottom of this crevice. Not in a hurry to jump in, though. Now, where are we heading? North, I think? Yeah, more or less straight north. It looks like there's actually ships there. I think I remember this settlement being, like, in the hull of one of the ships. I'm gonna try not to talk too much about, like, what little I remember, because... I understand that some of you are going to be experiencing this for the first time. What are you? Also, I normally get annoyed at bullet sponge enemies, but I'm really glad that it's not so much as to be, like, super unrealistic, but it is enough to give me pause before just trying to kill everything. I can't even begin to speculate as to what you guys would have mutated from, but I'm just gonna head on over this way, taking care not to fall into that canyon. Yes, guy, I know! I really have to watch where I'm going. Do I go down and risk being spotted, or do I try and find a way around this? I don't know how long is left in the day, or actually I do because I have a clock. It's actually not too late. Let's hop this. I don't know how the stealth is going to work in this. There's another one of those shamblers. I can't tell if he's armed. Yep, he's armed. He's armed and he spotted me. Maybe if I take him down, I can get some ammo off of him. Radiation on this object. That actually kind of makes sense. That objects absorb radiation. Then again, oh, jammed. And now I'm bleeding. Hope you can reimburse me for my ammo, at least. Oh, wait, let's see how... Oh, I think those are just regular dogs that are in amongst that crowd of weird, like, mutated things. Now we're seeing how the ecosystem interacts with itself, because I believe there is, like, a kind of a food chain here. I shouldn't let myself bleed for this long. Eat up and see what you've got. Some stuff. You've got, like, some kind of muzzle coating your mouth. And it looks like there's some kind of, like, boils or rashes all over your face. What happened to you? I'm also going to be taking all these guns. If nothing else, I can probably sell them, right? And I have a feeling I'm going to be pretty strapped for cash early on. Rubles or no. What's the currency Ukraine uses? I'm not sure, actually. I should probably know that by now. Alright, so it's not this ship up ahead, but the next one in the chain. What I was going to say was that it kind of makes sense that, like, metal objects are radiated as I get close to them. But I think in real life it works a little bit differently, doesn't it? I mean, it makes sense that objects are irradiated, but I believe if you were to visit Pripyat, what the guides would tell you is that you're actually meant to walk on the paved areas and not in the grass and foliage, because that stuff actually absorbs radiation more than the concrete does. What? It's saying that there's 2 things close to me. Where are they? 4. 8? 9 things close to me. What and where? Is it the birds? Is it counting the birds? And why are they all flocking like this? Is there a corpse nearby or something? I'm sorry for these frame hitches. I'm gonna move this game to my SSD. What's going on here? Okay, maybe I'm not welcome here. I'll wait until you've calmed down. God, am I interrupting something? I hope they're not shooting at me. They're not appearing as red on my thing. I hear more voices over this way. I'm actually starting to get just kind of a poor frame rate around here. But if I'm correct, that ship over there should be where I'm heading. Oh, there's a whole firefight going on. Okay, I think I'm going to come back to this later. I've clearly caught them at a bad time. Actually, we can see into the distance a little more clearly. No, they're shooting at me. Oh, this feels so inaccurate. And I'm hit again. Do you have any bandages? I'm tired of using my own. And I'm not going to fight anyone without taking their stuff first. Vodka, I can use that to get rid of the radiation poisoning. Alright, it's very clear that I'm going to require help, but look, as the sun comes out and the fog fades away, we can see more clearly into the distance. And this is such a beautiful game. Oh, look, there's a bunch of corpses, remnants of that firefight in the water. Still a couple guys patrolling about, but maybe I can sneak over? and loot the spoils. Honestly, this game, I was worried I might not have much to talk about in the point A to point B, but I'm really appreciating the living world that this is creating. So much emergent storytelling. I can tell I'm going to enjoy this a lot. I think these were more of the zombies. The shamblers, as I called them. They've got the same boils and face mask. Or maybe they're just trying to be polite, be considerate of others in the wake of this pandemic. There's a whole lot around me right now, and it's really making me hope that this thing counts birds. Sure wish I could understand what you were saying. In any case, I'm out. They don't seem to be directly hostile to me for the most part. At least the ones that are speaking. And my frame rate is really not great right now. But here we are. And according to my minimap, we seem to have made it. And let's see what this place is all about. This thing is like the kind of secret clubhouse that I would dream of as a kid. And I imagine this place will also be a safe place to survive emissions.
Listen up. Sultan wants to see you.
Sultan, eh?
So, you managed to drag your ass over here? Bravo!
Do I know you? Remember, I'm Sultan. Everything that goes down here is either under my control, or will be soon. If you want to live the good life, you gotta work for me. If you don't, you live the crappy life. That's how we roll, bro. Okay. So this guy's like a mob boss of this settlement. Tell me about your life here. Can you shut up? I'm trying to speak here. It ain't a walk in the park, that's for sure. What exactly do you want to know? What do you do here? We watch over stalkers. You have to admit that a good half of you are more like little kids than men. I'll be honest, that's how I feel. You come to the zone with some silly dreams, or to play heroes, or just because life's treating you badly. You don't realize all that's waiting for you in here. The Grim Reaper, mostly. That's the kind we look after. We find one at the garbage, we take his gear, and send him back to the cordon. Some wise up and go back to the outside. Those with the stones to come back here, we put under our protection and tax them. I'm telling you, no one dares go on our territory. Not the army, not the mercenaries, not even mutants. Well, what does your territory constitute? Because I have seen plenty of mutants already. What brought you here? Our legs. We came here for stalkers. What else? Without us around to keep order, it's sheer chaos. You loot it, you keep it, sure, but who's gonna pay your taxes? You know, the peace and security tax. Sounds like a racket to me. Like, if one of you's... Okay, so this Ukrainian gangster saying, yeah, one of you's... I can tell they had some fun with this translation. If one of yous is milking an anomaly while we're on the lookout, keeping mutants at bay, if he comes out fine, we take a cut. For maintaining order, you understand. How did you become boss? What do you think about stalkers? Oh, never mind. Forget about it. Forget about it. Whoever translated this was clearly having the time of their life. So how'd you become the boss? Where do I begin? I guess it goes back to high school. I had a good buddy. A best friend, if you will. We hung out together, smoking and drinking and whatnot. only he wanted to get more and more thrills. He got into drugs. Some weed at first, then smack and coke when he started getting some coin. I told him, you gotta get off that, man, before it's too late. But he didn't listen. He scored some bad stuff one day, and that was that. I found his dealers and got even for my buddy. Got my picture took, and all hell broke loose. The slammer, the gang fights, the shiv in the belly. Got out, started a business, got busted again. When I got out again, I left all that behind and set my sights on the zone. Spent a couple months toughing it out, then got promoted. So now I'm in charge here, upholding the local law. Now, you tell one story, but you make it sound like something else. Are you the sheriff or the local leg breaker? What do you think about stalkers? They're all different, like. Some are punks who don't last here a week. Others are earners. And others are okay guys that life is kicked around on both sides of the cordon. We fleece the first kind, tax the second. As far as the last kind, well, we just try not to get in each other's way. Too bad you can't always tell them apart right away. Based on my impressions of you, I aim to be the last kind. I'm not going to ask you about a job right now.
See you, if you manage to stay in one piece.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes I forget where I'm going mid-sentence as well. Hello, someone playing guitar?
Hello.
Hi. I just love games that do this. Games that show the people in that environment as people who are living, not just going around doing video game stuff. In so many games, all people do is run around and fight. It almost seems like they don't have lives of their own, and it makes their characterization feel so hollow. In a game like this, I don't know, I feel like you really come to appreciate safety. In moments like these, in moments where you're just sitting in the bar, sitting around a campfire. Metro is also very good about this.
Welcome aboard our swamp icebreaker.
Hey there. What's life like here? Oh, that's a broad topic. Try asking some specific questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. What drove stalkers to the center of the zone? A funny question. Some were out to discover the next artifact gold mine. Some were driven here by the Oasis rumors. Others sought the Wish Granter. It's the second time we've heard about that. And then there are the base human desires. Greed and curiosity. Everyone's got their reasons. I'm sure you have yours, too. So he talks about the Wish Granter, and I'm not familiar enough with the lore to know if that's really going to be a thing in this game, but it does certainly remind me of the premise of the movie Stalker, which isn't related to the game, but shut up, everyone. Which... Are you finished? So the movie isn't related to the games, but it is based on the same source material, I believe, which is the book Roadside Picnic. I haven't read the book, but I have seen the movie, and I highly recommend it. I never thought I'd love a movie about a bunch of Russian guys walking around in tall grass talking about philosophy for 3 hours, but it's really great, and it's really inspired a lot of what I love visually. But anyway, how did you end up here? I came here with Grouse after the Scorcher was disabled, but I'm sure that's not really what you want to know, right? I deal mainly in artifacts. Okay, so you're my guy for that. The outside is full of trinkets already, so valuable customers want the rare stuff. That's why I decided to set up a stalker camp, where real high-value articles can be found. I mean, when a stalker comes back with his loot, what does he really need? A cold one in his hand, and good old human contact. That's what. And that's what S.T.A.L.K.E.R is all about. I like this guy already. Then again, he does seem to be in the employ of Sultan. What do stalkers do here? Ask yourself that, pal. They step ashore from Skadovsk to explore the terrain and search for artifacts, shooting back at everything and everyone who comes rushing at them. They come back in Skadovsk to get drunk and talk trash, enjoy some R&R before the next raid. Though when an emission hits, it's quite a different scene. That's when we all sit tight, and remember those who didn't make it to cover in time. Alright, let's have a look around.
Pop in if you find any artifacts, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, definitely, you're gonna be my go-to guy. But I'm seeing a lot of icons, and we'll have to figure out what they mean exactly.
Did you find anything
What
out
are
about
you?
Magpie?
A statue? If you got something, spill the beans. If not, take a hike.
Need goods? Information?
Son of a bitch is going to
Or
regret
maybe want to
running
sell
away.
information. God, it's gonna be so hard to talk over all the people in the background in this Let's
buddy.
Play.
The doc said you'll be up on your feet
I need
in a couple
information.
days.
What do you want to
Might
know?
as well use this time to rest up and chill. Hey, Stalker, come here. I got a question for you.
I can't hear myself think over these voices. There's got to be something I can do about this. Alright, what do you know about the crashed helicopters? Everyone around here knows where they fell. One came down at the southern plateau, the second landed in the swamp, and the third sat right on top of the substation pylons. What place are you asking about? Well, I already found two, so that means that I can only ask about the southern plateau. Pay up now. You owe me $200. Okay. So, this chopper landed right next to a snort den. As far as I know, the military got out of there. Not all, but most of them. Wait, so they're survivors? Wiped out the mutants and climbed down. By the way, if you're heading up there, I can offer you a nice shotgun and some ammo to help deal with those beasts. Only thing is, no one except Noah knows how to climb that plateau. Okay. So can I buy a shotgun from you? And is it worth it? How much am I carrying? 2,300... Oh, I guess it is rubles. Okay, and for 358 I can have it. But is it worth it? I have this new assault rifle. Actually, I have two of them, but he won't buy them. I already have some ammo. I'll do it. Just for the variety, it's in good condition. I'll do it. You won't take this, right? Just being sure. I'm just trying to learn the lay of things here. Detector Bear, 1,600 rubles. This last generation anomalous activity detector can be used to locate anomalous formations and has a colored diode panel, which not only indicates the direction of artifacts, but also measures the distance to them. Okay, so I have something like that. Hang on. Echo detector, only 100 rubles. It produces an alarm signal when anomalous particles enter a special chamber as you approach an anomaly. Okay, so they function in different ways. This one's probably better, but I don't really have much need for that now. How do I exit out? Okay, that's it for helicopters. See you next time. I'm gonna have to start...
That's right. Get on out of here.
Get on up out of here with my eye holes. Alright, now if I step outside, it's probably approaching dark, right? Not really. Maybe I could make a run. Guys, it sounds like there's some dogs patrolling about. What was that about not even mutants coming here? These guys are entering the station, but you're going this way, which may not be good for your health. Wait, where's my weapon? Oh, can I not equip it this close? Okay. Yeah, I don't really feel up to going and grabbing more stuff. I think what I'm going to do is maybe go try and scavenge that battlefield to kill time. Maybe see what the people on that ship were about. But then I'm going to head right back and see if I can't find a way to wait through the night. I don't remember if that was a thing or not. I hope I'm not forced to explore during the dark. I bet if I climb this thing, I can get a better view. Yeah, my frame rate's not the best right now. I'll try to fix this in subsequent parts. Do I have binoculars? I don't. Okay, well... It all looks quiet now. So I guess I'm heading in. Maybe I can scavenge some bodies from that encounter. I already got you guys. There's a bunch more over here, according to my map. Here's one. Nothing, though. Gina Workhorse, zombie. Oh, it actually says what they are in the top left. Okay, so these were all shamblers. There's more here, but the grass is so thick I can't even spot them. You're who I just had. There's another over here somewhere. This one might even be underwater. Oh, here you are. But you're also one of these things. This water doesn't seem to be radioactive, but those sounds are so thick, it's so unpleasant. I can practically feel my socks soaking through. Alright, I'm gonna approach with my gun down because you don't appear to be enemies. Okay, playing nice so far. Nice pose. Okay, you don't trust me, I get it. Howdy. Howdy, Spartacus. Howdy, Stalker. I'm busy right now. Let's talk later, okay? Are you under attack again? Maybe I can help. I wonder if I do that, will that build some kind of, like, reputation with them? Like, will they trust me more? I don't know if this game has that. Howdy, Stalker, I'm busy. Okay. You guys got nothing for me. At least not right now. You're scavenging as well. Does that mean that when I check this guy, he'll have nothing on him? Okay. So does that mean that all the bullets were coming from you? I think there were actually bandits down here before. Since I do have some daylight left to kill, maybe I'll check out those docks. Wait. I mean, I should have gathered this, but I guess we're at the bottom of a riverbed. Makes sense, a bridge going over, docks here, and of course the giant ship sitting at the bottom of it. Those things weren't built there. I hear gunshots, and look, what is going on with the sky in the distance there? That must be some other anomaly. The howls of the condemned echoing over the treetops is something I guess this place has to deal with from time to time. I just noticed that blue bar jumped up when I was walking, and especially when I walked through the water. I guess that indicates sound. So I bet the green one indicates sight then. The one on top. I don't know if this is something I should help with or something I shouldn't get involved with. I think that's a shambler. Useless with gun jamming after every hit. That one's not a shambler. Everybody but that guy is a shambler. Let's heal up. That one's still alive. Do they get up if you don't... Hang on, let's do some science.
Ишь ты, дрыгается еще. Парни, не расслабляемся.
I was doing science. Alright, but, you know, you're
Не
welcome and
расходиться,
all.
ждем.
Can I talk to you at all?
I ain't in the mood for gum beating.
Возможно, еще не все.
Okay.
Всем спасибо, все свободны.
And you
Извиняй,
have a
конечно,
shotgun.
но тебе оно уже без пользы.
Wait, did you take my shotgun? Because that's my shotgun. I killed this guy.
С таким барахлом я в зону полез.
Ah, great. So they will actually loot other people for their stuff. Ah, I could have used that. Although I guess now it's slightly less of a waste of money that I bought one.
Howdy ho.
Yeah, what about the rest of you? Ammo. Another detector. Not worth very much, though. Although we do have quite a large inventory.
Так, мужик.
No, I
чего
don't
ж
need
там у
your...
тебя?
I don't need your pistol. You can take that back. I will, however, take whatever food is on you. Actually, is that one better than mine?
У меня и в худшие
It does
дни
more
пожирнее
damage, but it's
было.
worse in just about every other way. I'm gonna put it
Извиняй,
back.
конечно, но тебе оно уже без пользы.
You still don't want to talk, huh? There's other bodies here as well. It looks like you were fighting before I arrived. Which I guess we already knew.
Нечего добру пропадать, я так мыслю.
More of this stuff. What are these? Now, come on, bring it up. What are these? Vinca, an artificial equivalent of vitamin K, and it gives me some wound
Извиняй,
healing.
конечно, но тебе оно уже...
I want every bullet I can get. Now, let's see. Is his version of this weapon in better shape than mine? Yes. Well, then I will unload
Так,
mine
мужик,
and
чего ж
drop
там у
it.
тебя?
And load this up as well. Because I don't know how to repair right now, and I want to be in as good of shape as possible. That's a bloodstain. Door locked. Well, that's not ominous at all, but the sun is starting to set. The contrast is becoming quite hard on my eyes, so I'm going to head back to Skadovsk. Those sounds actually sound directional, like they're coming from that way. Let's just make a note of that. What's in that direction? I can't really identify what most of that is yet. I'm hearing definite growling. And I can't tell at this angle whether that's a group of shamblers. I think it is. 4 of them all in a line. Everywhere you look, there's something going on. Alright, but let's just make our way back inside to safety. I don't really feel safe out here when I can't even see what's going on. Yep, done. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
Hey, Stalker. How are you?
Nice. Now I have to find if there's some place I can sleep. Huh. I can't even adjust the mattress? Well, I guess it's only fitting that on my first night in the zone, I fall asleep to the sounds of lighthearted conversation, mutant growling, and gunfire. You cannot sleep. You are suffering from radiation exposure. Use drugs or contact a medic. Well, I can't afford healthcare, so I'm just gonna have to use drugs instead. Oh, also I'll have to do that in S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Okay, so we can choose when we go to, and I guess this determines like the time of day. That's pretty useful. Okay, so I guess we'll sleep 5 hours until dawn. I wonder if it does any kind of healing while we sleep? There we go. But I noticed a little red thing on my list of little Project Zomboid Moodles on the bottom right. I am hungry. I wonder what that does. But I have plenty of bread. And now we should be good on that. And our course of action for today is we want to make our way to that next crash site. I may also have to ask these guys for some jobs, because at the rate I'm going, my money's not going to last too long. I'm definitely going to have to become a working guy. Oh, what a foggy, dark morning. Exactly the kind of atmosphere that I like to go for walks in. And I can't wait to journey into it. But that'll be next time. I am so glad I'm finally getting to play this, because I have been having an absolute blast in this part, and I can't wait to see where it's going to go from here. Thank you guys so much for pushing me to play this, because I can already tell this is going to be a great series. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.